If you told me like, I don't know, 5 years ago that an anime would become one of my favorite franchises of all time, I would have called you nuts, crazy, kooky, possibly even loony or bananas. Perhaps bonkers if I felt so inclined. There was no way I was going to get so into an anime that I would do something stupid like dress up as one of the characters for Halloween. Which I did, because my friends told me about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and ruined my life. Vampires, sentient arms, monkeys that control ships, rats with guns, Italians. None of it sounded real. It was all so ridiculous, there was just no way that this was a show that people watched. But it was. I finally watched it, and it was much more than just a show. It was an experience, a journey. I got it. I finally understood the references. It was an entire world I've never seen before. I felt like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the hit movie Journey to the Mysterious Island. Love the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. Love Dwayne Johnson, Mets, baby. Now, I'm what you would call a casual anime fan. Watching a series here and there like Dragon Ball, Evangelion, and Attack on Titan, which I imagine from the perspective of hardcore anime fans makes me something even worse. A normie. So for JoJo to come around and sweep me off my feet was an unexpected turn of events. It had the memes, it had the waifus, it had the amazing fights. And if you simply rearrange these letters here, they come out to a word that I'd say perfectly describes what JoJo's is. Brazier, which is English for a large metal container in which coal or charcoal is burned.
Did this guy really just steal a SpongeBob and Red Letter Media joke back to back? What a hack.
Every episode, and although some parts might be better than others, it's enjoyable from start to finish and has seamlessly taken the cake as my favorite animated show. I think it's a certified banger, as these crazy TikTok kids say these days with their broken tables and their Adderalls and their haha. They're just having a good time over there. Just a bunch of goofballs, a bunch of crazy little fellas. I want this video to act somewhat like a primer for not only my friends who don't watch JoJo's, but for yours too, random viewer, who's also probably a JoJo fan, and for my grandkids, so that when they wonder why Grandpa was pacing around his home in a wheelchair greeting a man named Angelo and punching the air, they can sleep soundly knowing that he wasn't suffering from dementia. He simply just had JoJo brain rot. Speaking of, what is JoJo brain rot? Why is JoJo popular? What makes it so good? Well, in order to answer those questions and more, we need to go back to the far and distant year of 1987. Alright, you ready? Let's go. Whoa, whoa, the power of video editing, whoa! JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. By the way, I'm going to be saying JoJo a lot during this entire video. Also, I think I've said it at least 100 times. So, make a drinking game out of it.
What a stupid idea. Who would actually do that?
Go ahead and take a swig every time I say JoJo. Just do yourself a favor, when you end up in an ambulance on the way to the hospital to get your stomach pumped, don't mention that you got drunk watching a JoJo video. Have some respect for yourself and say that you lost a game of beer pong. Or that you played a game of chicken with your buddies and you ran over the neighbor's dog. I can't imagine the medic would be feeling too happy about that. And I don't blame him. I'd probably leave you on the side of the road too. I don't fucking care. I don't know who you are. Anyways, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a Japanese manga series that began in 1987. Written by a demented and warped man who goes by the name of Hirohiko Araki. The story of the series is split up into 8 parts that will soon become 9 parts, each one following the life of a different JoJo, spanning different time periods and places as they fight the forces of evil, whether it's a crazed flamboyant vampire, David Bowie with a hand fetish, or just the actual President of the United States.
It gets pretty wacky tobacco if you ask me. Don't tell your mother I said that.
As with many manga series, an anime adaptation for JoJo was
Is that a beer?
Oh, well, you see,
order of the aforementioned parts, with the first season containing both Phantom Blood Part 1 and Battle Tendency Part 2. Now, I'm no doctor, but I'll take a shot in the dark with a flashlight and say the anime was pretty successful. If you've been around the internet, scratch that, even just touched it with a 100-foot stick in the past 10 years, odds are you've ran into a JoJo meme spurred on from the anime. Although this predates the show,
Is that a motherfucking JoJo reference?
was a joke that spread like wildfire in the mid-2010s. And by wildfire, I mean utter and complete domination. Breathing is a JoJo reference. Drinking water, that's a JoJo reference. Riding a motorcycle, walking is a JoJo reference. Everyday life is a JoJo reference. Existence, your existence is a reference to JoJo, okay? We're animals, okay? We're animals. The JoJo fanbase is a horde of beasts, goblins, imps, creatures, gremlins, okay? I once saw a meme on Instagram of a guy playing with clackers, okay? And for those of you that know what I'm about to say, you know what everybody was saying, you know. I checked the comment section, and there you go. Literally, everybody was like, JoJo reference, Joseph Joestar, part 2, Joseph Joestar clackers. Now, what I'm about to say, I don't know if it's true, but I like to think it is. Musical artists have to shut down the comment sections on their music videos, because if there is a character or a stand named after a song or an artist, you bet your sweet ass that every single JoJo fan on the face of planet Earth will blitzkrieg the living shit out of that comment section. No remorse, no mercy, just a full-scale invasion. Remember this? Yeah, that was a JoJo reference. I couldn't believe it. I've been a witness to a good handful of reactions from people in my life, sitting there, dumbfounded, after the credits for the first episode started to roll, having the truth dropped on them like an anvil in a Looney Tunes cartoon that the to be continued meme was from JoJo. Now, I'm gonna hold the whole horses. Thank you. I tried my hardest, thank you. On the rest of the meme talk, because I actually have that saved for later. So instead of jumping the sharks, let's finally dive in with them. Fucking what? Whatever. Like I mentioned prior, JoJo is split into multiple story arcs. Part 1 is a gothic horror tale taking place in Victorian England, filled with vampires, zombies, and magical artifacts. It's a classic story where the heroes were heroes and the villains were villains, damn it. None of this moral ambiguity. Oh, I'm killing people. What does it mean to be human? I need my Soylent. Nonsense. Part 2 is Indiana Jones with Giga Chads. Part 3 is an 80s globe-trotting adventure. Part 4 is a small-town murder mystery story. Part 5 is The Godfather. Part 6 is Billie Eilish escaping from prison. Part 7 is a cowboy race across America where the characters are trying to find the body parts of Jesus. And Part 8 is... I don't know. I know there's fruit. Fucking 4 balls. Identity crisis. Beetle fight. With all of those differences, you think that the series would feel disconnected, but it doesn't. Everything feels like it belongs. There are just enough connecting narrative elements to make each of those parts feel cohesive, while at the same time allowing them to branch off into radically different thematic territories. And that's why the stories of JoJo are so fun. They're rich in variety, unlike some other shows I know of. Typically, anime and other forms of entertainment have the viewer, player, reader follow a single protagonist throughout the story. However, for JoJo, that idea is thrown out the window, as there's not only a different premise for each part, but also a different main Joestar, Kujo, Giovanna, whatever. They're all related, and they're all called JoJo, alright? Don't look at me. I'm not their doctor, okay? I'm not Ancestry.com.
Why, I'm
JoJo.
What kind of fool do you take me for?
JoJo. 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 JoJo.
Are there any other
JoJo's.
I should know about?
Meow.
I'm out of here.
This passing of the torch formula keeps the series fresh, allowing for soft resets in an otherwise multi-generational long tale where the protagonists, except for the ones in parts 7 and 8, are destined to live with the repercussions of Dio Brando and his quest of creating a perfect world under his image. If there's any major plot holes, otherwise known as Iraqi forgots, all you have to say to yourself is, it's JoJo. That's it. It's the ultimate answer. Oh, what's that? A character used an ability that's never brought up again that could have been useful later on? It doesn't matter. It's JoJo. Just shut your face hole and enjoy the sick-ass fight. It's great. You don't have to think about anything, because once you do, your mind, your lizard brain, is just gonna fall apart like a cookie that was dunked in milk. You have to remember that this is the same series where a character used his abs as a heater to warm another character's arm.
If it's heat you need, Speedwagon's feeling right charitable this evening.
What? So you have a plan then?
In a pinch, I figured this'll do ya!
You selfless idiot!
I heard they treat frostbite in the Arctic by cutting open a seal and sticking the frozen hand or foot into the poor blight.
Speedwagon, you don't have to do this.
So trying to apply logic isn't something that really works with JoJo. Story and logic just don't mix. In fact, keep them separated. Actually, just take logic and throw it in a cage. Put it in the dumpster. Hope that the dumpster is sent off to a landfill so seagulls can pick at it. And this sounds like me criticizing the story of JoJo, but I'm not. It's endearing. I love it. It knows it's weird. It knows it's crazy. And you gotta throw some respecto beans at it. I don't know what respecto beans are, but if there were respecto beans, you throw respecto beans at them. I don't know where the fuck I was going with that. The fuck are respecto beans? JoJo's story is not gonna win an Emmy. It's not gonna win a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award, okay? You're not gonna see Araki get slimed on stage. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that it was very entertaining through every single part, all of the way through. Where JoJo may lack in story to some, it makes up with its characters. And this might be where the greatest draw of the series was for me. Most characters are filled to the brim with personalities that you can't just help but love. For some main characters, you got Jotaro Kujo with the hair, whatever, who cares? Yada yada. He just said the thing. He just said a sick 80s one-liner and beat the shit out of a guy after he made him turn into a bridge. He's a marine biologist that loves to fuck dolphins more than he loves his daughter, who he shows up to see when he's a depressed, middle-aged man wearing a purple trench coat, then punches her in the face because he's a good dad. Then you got Joseph Joestar, the residential funny man that somehow predicts lines. Runs away from fights like a true hero, and in his old age managed to clap some college Japanese cheeks, which he did behind his wife's back.
Oh shit!
Oh, Joseph, you rapscallion, you. Remember, kids, if Joseph Joestar cheats on his wife, you should too. Whoa, who is that crawling around in the sewers? Hey, it's Stroheim. What would the main character be without some allies? He's here to show you the power of
German science!
With his gun body that will light anybody up like a Christmas tree. And yeah, sure, he might be part of a certain group of people, you know, that got a little bit uppity in Germany during the 30s and 40s and started an event where they got a little bit quirky, they got a little bit crazy, but he yells things in a funny way and looks like Guile from Street Fighter, so that's gotta count for something, right? Man, what a respectful group of fine gentlemen. Now, that was only the tip of the vanilla iceberg. Thanks. Yeah, thank you. For some of the characters that you'll come across in JoJo, most of them are written to be very eccentric and in your face. Even for the ones that aren't as elaborate, there's usually a moment or two that makes them memorable. Like a lot of the minor villains. Though they play a small part in the story, the fourth wall breaks of Gaucho or the arrogant personality of Steely Dan give them a moment to shine in an otherwise vast sea of iconic character moments. JoJo has a good reputation of giving supporting characters substantial story arcs that sometimes even outshine the main ones. Polnareff and Bruno are the biggest reps for this notion, as their quests for revenge and betrayal respectively make the parts they're in almost more about them than the main characters. And for a series that is drenched in absurdity, JoJo's main villains are really good. They're powerful, intimidating, and charismatic. Nobody is safe, not even the heroes. Every time they appear on screen, they steal the show without any effort. And that's all thanks to Araki's fantastic character writing. Like Dio, for example. Yes, the man dresses up like a sexually confused genie. But let me tell you something, he hated the Joestars. Hated them so much that after he got his ass kicked by Jonathan, he stole his body and then came back 100 years later to scrap with his descendants. If that isn't the ultimate Sigma grind set, I don't know what is.
Oh, alright babe, I'm pretty beat. We can finish the video later. How about you and I go upstairs and we head out to the fairway?
Okay, I'll get the golf club. Oh my god!
What the fuck?
Oh my god, what do we do?
I'm not sure,
What do we
babe,
do?
but I do know one thing. I would subscribe to see what happens in the next part. How will we get out of this situation? What else makes JoJo so great? There's only one way to find out. Anyways, this thing looks like my mother-in-law. Hey, get the golf club. We don't need it. We can get another one.
Oh my god, we gotta get out of here. What is that thing?
Now this is just clawful. We gotta get out of here in a pinch.
Now's not the time for jokes. Wait a minute. We can go down into the basement. Crabs can't walk downstairs.
Whoa, we're going down the stairs. We're going into the
Whoa, we're going down the
basement.
stairs.
Whoa.
Where's the light switch? I can't see a thing.
I don't really know where the light switch went, but I do have a great idea. How about we use the light from the TV that we have down here? We can continue watching that terrible JoJo video to bide the time until that crab thing leaves.
I think my laptop's down. Yeah, here it is. My laptop's right here. We can just use this instead. It's gonna be such a hassle just to get the video onto the TV screen.
No, but hold on a second. I can cast the video using my Chromecast. Just give me a second here. I can cast the video. Oh, nothing's showing up. Why won't the Chromecast work?
Please stop saying Chromecast. Why do you keep on saying that? Stop saying cast. Stop. Never did I think a word would make me drier than the Sahara Desert. Just shut the fuck up and let's use the fucking laptop.
Okay.
As a casual anime fan, I think that stands and JoJo are one of the best battle systems in the industry. And before I hear some mutant creature from the abyss tell me that Hamon is better, let me just say this. Hamon is sick, alright? I get it. I love Sun Karate. I love a good Thunder Cross split attack as much as the next guy.
Thunder Cross Split Attack!
But Hamon has its limits. Despite how awesome a lot of the fights in parts 1 and 2 are, there's only so many ways the JoJos could have trained in Hamon and only so many ways they could have used the different attacks before it got boring. Stands, on the other hand, offer a lot more flexibility for concepts than Hamon. All Araki has to do is think of an ability that he usually never used before, for the most part, slap a design onto the thing and whammo, you got a stand. Stands can go from being basic with conventional abilities like punching fast, shooting fire, controlling sand, or just being a gun, to being overly complicated with very specific abilities like manifesting the guilt of a target and having it kill them. But then if somebody is killed in its range and the killer feels guilty, the victim comes back to life but is invincible and their guilt kills the assailant. Or being a computer that impregnates a woman based upon her blood type, horoscope, and favorite sex position, which then a little goblin is born by just appearing in a graphic birth scene that can disassemble itself into cubes and talk being a compass dragon thing that can point toward control spots that helps the user find spots. This one's and that's what tossing a salad means. These later, more convoluted stands are essentially those We Are #1 butt videos from 2016, where every time the stand takes a step, the Vine Boom sound plays, but it gets progressively more bass boosted the closer it becomes. Can sprint 60 miles per hour and causes you to hear the song Never Meant by American Football while your skin falls off if it touches you. Then you could call it horse hot wee water and make it look like Mothman. Bam! You got the main villain stand for part 9. Regardless of how simple or complicated the stands are, the fights are still engaging, fun, and yes, they can be very ridiculous, but super hype at the same time. Like Star Platinum's beatdown on Steely Dan where it actually lasts 20 seconds. It's dumb, but it's a good kind of dumb, like the most endearing something dumb can be, and I love it. I love every bit of it. Even with the villain of the week formula, there's always something new with every fight. And that's even if you want to call some of these encounters fights, because there will be episodes like in part 4 where it's just Josuke and Okuyasu going to hang out at an Italian restaurant. And the entire thing is them just freaking out, eating food, trying to figure out what Tonio's stand ability is. The possibilities are really endless, not just for abilities, but also for the designs. Part of the appeal of some stands is how unexpected they can appear. I mean, they're all over the place. You can honestly get lost in a rabbit hole of looking at stands and seeing what their abilities are. It's a lot of fun. What's even better is that most stands are named after songs or musical artists, sprinkling that extra bit of character onto them. Weird Pink Robot Man? Well, that's Crazy Diamond, obviously. Little Silver Ghost Guys? Metallica, of course. Fishing Pole? Duh, it's Beach Boys, you doorknob-looking ding-dong. And since I'm talking about designs, it's nice as somebody who used to really like Pokemon that there's none of those debates in JoJo. At least from what I've seen, you know. The stands don't look like stands anymore debates. Like if you were to show a JoJo fan a picture of Chocolate Disco, they'll just go, ha ha, hopscotch. But if you were to show a Gen 1 fan a picture of ice cream, they'd start foaming at the mouth and screeching like a piglet fresh off the teat. I don't know about you, but I think Pokemon designs have gotten better over the years. Anyways, stands are weird, stands are unique, and stands are fun. Without them, I don't know where JoJo would be.
I really like Naruto's music because I really feel like a ninja.
Shut up, Debbie. You haven't lived until you heard the Oingo Boingo Brothers theme.
Oingo Boingo Brothers!
That's right. In the ever so expanding arsenal of JoJo's greatness, music is one of its deadliest tools, because I've almost died from banging my head too hard. That's what me and the boys back home like to call a zinger. Got 'em! From Phantom Blood to Golden Wind, the soundtracks for each part are fantastic and have a lot of good stuff in them. But let's be real here. The best parts, the only parts of the soundtracks that need to be talked about are the character themes. Yugo Kanno must be the reincarnation of Apollo or something, because the themes he comes up with for a lot of the characters are godly. It's like they were created in a lab to perfectly capture hype in its purest audio form. My favorite use of them is during beatdown scenes after a fight, as they create a delicate waltz of having the song build up, while the hero makes a speech about how much the villain sucks balls because they outsmarted their outsmarting, to the beat drop followed by a firm ground beefing. We just gotta listen, alright? We gotta listen. I don't care if you already heard them, alright? We're listening anyways.
Play the hits, Johnny!
Those themes are so much fun to listen to and make doing anything hype as shit. Go mow your lawn to Okiyasu's theme. Even if you don't have a lawnmower, go pretend like you're riding one. Trust me, it'll feel like cutting grass will determine the fate of the world. Even for the first two parts that were composed by Hayato Mitsuo and Taku Iwasaki, I really hope I didn't screw those up. Themes like the Pillarments perfectly demonstrate their essence. Now, as somebody who typically skips intros to shows, JoJo will make you break that habit, like the motorcycle crash that broke Gary Busey's mind. Oh, whatever, screw you, look at him. He's fine, he looks almost regular, whatever. Every single one of these songs is like Crocodile, but instead of your flesh rotting off, you'll be filled with so much energy that, in fact, as a grown man with hairy monkey arms, I can't resist the urge to go blast Great Days during a testosterone-filled workout session. I'm not kidding, I actually do this. I have no shame. The things these openers do to you are unimaginable. Sono Chino Sadame is probably the greatest inspirational song ever. I once listened to it when I was visiting New York City, and the next thing I knew, I was walking up the Empire State Building 90 degrees just like Dio, not holding on to anything, and it was such a spectacle that I even reached headline news. Look at that. It just doesn't make any sense how catchy every intro is. It's alright if you don't like them. Though, that probably means you're a Melvin.
He just could not help himself, huh? You had to go for the double dip.
Top of the musical cake. I think they feel right at home considering JoJo's association with Western pop music. Let's play a quick game. Which ending song fits the part the most? Is it part 3 that focuses on an adventure to Egypt? Or is it part 5, which is about the assassination of a mafia boss? I'll let you figure that one out. As one final note on the intros and outros, they're chock full of hints and Easter eggs towards different events of the show, so it's always fun to rewatch them and look for hidden details that you might have missed, while you're jamming out, or crying.
Oh, what the fuck?
Ah, shucks. I think I forgot to charge the laptop before we used it.
That's it, I can't take this anymore. Between stepping on rats, the sounds of water droplets, and using my own pants as a urinal,
Wait, what was
I'm
that
gonna
last
lose
part?
my goddamn marbles. It's time to take action.
Yeah!
We're gonna climb those stairs,
Yeah!
open up that door, fight the crab, and we're gonna take back what's ours. We're going to war. You know what I want, you fuck. You fool. You forgot it's not just me here to take you on, but also my pissed off girlfriend.
And together, we're gonna take back this house. We're gonna give you the choice right now to walk away unscathed. If not, then you shall pay with your life. Oh yeah? You in what army?
Dear God, It's the great swarm of Abalok. Legends state that it was they, not the great Persian king Cyrus, who felled Babylon. Oh no. Oh no, it's Torlon the Destroyer. Oh, please have mercy. No. And what I feared the most has come upon us. The disgraced Carapace Knight, Zachary. There are fates worse than death, but we shall fight till our very last breath.
Rider!
Rider, you fucking bastards! What is that, a bug? Ew, get away from me!
Hit me, I dare you to hit me. Yeah! Come over here, you fucking fuck!
It's nice to be back, right?
Yeah, I mean, aside from the fact that there's giant dead crab carcasses outside the house, yeah, it's great, sure. Say, whatever happened between you and that crab with the bow tie on its head?
Well, babe, you see...
Wow, that sounds really amazing. I would have loved to see that.
I bet you would've. I bet you would've. Hey, now that we have a bunch of free time, I have a great idea for something that we can do.
Ooh, is it painting?
No.
Is it riding our bikes through the park?
No.
Oh, you want to bring me to that fireworks show I always wanted to go to?
No, it's none of those things, you
I mean, it's finishing watching that JoJo video.
Oh,
Let's
God
do it.
Damn it!
This one is gonna be more of a quickie, and I'm not talking about the horse kind. It just wouldn't be right to talk about JoJo and not bring up its art style. So it's no secret that Araki is a god when it comes to drawing. He's a man of detail that really likes to make the most out of each manga panel. It doesn't matter if it's people, animals, or Floridians. There's a depth, there's a beauty to his illustrations that can only truly be appreciated if you see them in person. If you look online, the pages just don't pop out the same. And this is something I didn't realize until I got my hands on one of the volumes of Stardust Crusaders. Man, what an iconic fight. So if you have a chance to look at the manga in person, please do so. Araki's inspiration from fashion, Western pop culture, and Renaissance sculptors like Michelangelo firmly etch his style as a standout amongst other mangakas. Look no further than the range of weird and wild designs he's given his characters, where in physique, the dudes early on looked like jacked up beefcakes ready to eat tanks for breakfast, to now where everyone looks like they're constantly modeling for Vogue. Speaking of modeling, did you know that Gucci collaborated with JoJo in 2013? Yeah, Araki drew a bunch of his characters wearing Gucci designer clothes to promote the spring collection that was released that year. As a fashionable man myself, I can appreciate the fine subtleties of adorning your sleeves with your nickname on repeat. Fortunately, David Productions did a great job translating Araki's wild styles into the animated world. I think they stay faithful to the source material while putting their own spin on Great Googly Moogly, what the hell is that? Okay, as long as they don't make things 3D, they kill it with the visuals. Stick with the 2D, David Productions. Please, God, just do that. Alright, so here we are, the end of the road. I saved this topic for last as I think it represents this series in all of its essence. Everything that I've talked about up to this point is a critical piece to the puzzle that is the humor of JoJo. And I don't just mean the actual written-in parts, although the series does have many funny moments. I'm talking about JoJo's ability to practically be an eternally operating meme factory. Nearly every component has in some shape or form a joke surrounding it, or at least the potential for one to happen. The series is fucking ridiculous. I think I've driven that idea home fairly well at this point, and it has perfected that art so well that a climactic moment like this, where Dio and Jotaro walk up to each other so the final fight can begin, is forever eternalized as one of the greatest gags to ever come from the manga, but at the same time can also still enthrall the viewer in the tension that built up to this moment. I mean, who am I kidding? This entire fight on its own has so many iconic moments that it has spawned its own microcosm of memes. Apply that same logic to the rest of the series, and that's how JoJo brain rot develops. In other words, the series has so many remarkable moments that a condition develops in an individual, causing them to non-stop talk about JoJo upon coming into contact with it. Symptoms include, but are not limited to, quoting, posing, aura rushing, and seeking references to the medium within reality. The infected individual, otherwise known as a JoJo fan, will seek out others to spread this knowledge to. If confronting a fellow JoJo fan, ideas from both hosts will combine into more elaborate forms of previous symptoms, typically involving reenacting fight scenes or repeating dialogue between characters. If contact is made between a JoJo fan and a pure individual, the JoJo fan will proceed with the information relay, while the purified individual will swiftly flee, deeming the JoJo fan insane. I will be playing an audio recording sent to me from an anonymous source. Playing track now.
Yes. Oh my god. Goodbye, JoJo.
What are you even saying anymore? Why are you doing this to us? Leave the kids alone!
Nice. Sticky fingers.
I want my daddy.
Stop finger.
There's actually an entire galaxy's worth of JoJo memes, and once you're part of the horde, there's no stopping their consumption. It doesn't matter if it's something that is intentionally funny or something that's serious. A meme will be made from it.
Fill it in a few different times just to kind of get a real deep color. And then kind of go in here at the bottom.
All thanks to the fan base who have the greatest impact on what JoJo is to a lot of people outside the community. Because the series is essentially one giant inside joke, and unless you've watched it or read it, the fan base can appear extremely obnoxious. It's true, there are a lot of undesired parts of it that can be very toxic, but that goes for any fandom, and for the sections of the community that just want to enjoy the manga or the show, while still being normal people about it, I say that they're a passionate group that wants to simply share a form of entertainment that they like. And as somebody who aligns with that prospect, I, of course, don't think there's anything wrong with that. Humor is the greatest social adhesive, and in the case of JoJo, it's beautiful that fans from all different kinds of backgrounds can embrace the same ridiculous scenes and jokes that make being a part of the series so lively. That's the power of meme magic, baby. A power that could have only truly been tapped into with a fan base like JoJo's, who can take anything from the series and convert it into something much more than it ever could have been. It's a symbiotic relationship, really. JoJo gives fans entertainment by merely just existing, and in return, they give JoJo publicity through the ravenous production of memes. It's in that dynamic, that interaction between like-minded people to express what they love no matter how weird they look, that creates a true sense of belonging and comfort. And with that, I can confidently say that the real JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was the friends that we made along the way. Huh? Nah, I'm just messing around with you crazy scamps. I appreciate JoJo for broadening my entertainment horizons, because before it, I never really would have considered getting into an anime. But now here I am figuring out whether I should watch Chainsaw Man, One Punch Man, or Castlevania next. So thanks, JoJo. Thanks for allowing me to meet new people and have really awesome memories with my friends. I'm excited to see what's next. I know Part 9 is going to be revealed by Araki soon, so that's going to be pretty hype. I have yet to read Part 8, but we'll get there when we get there. And we have Stone Ocean coming out in the fall. Yeah, the fall. Yeah, no, Netflix, you should do this more often. Yeah, you should release these episodes in batches. It's a really good idea. You should do that for Steel Ball Run. Yeah. Make everyone wait a year after you release 12 episodes. That's a great idea. Oh, and All-Star Battle R is coming out in the fall. It looks pretty awesome. I'm gonna main Paul and Aref for Funny Valentine. Okay, that's just about everything. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't watched JoJo before and this made you want to check it out, then awesome. If not, die. Goodbye.
Well, that was a crass way of ending things, don't you think?
Not at all. I thoroughly enjoyed the video. I think the least we can do is rate it, or even subscribe if we felt daring enough, because it took him
3 months. It took him 3 months to make the video.
Wow, that's a great idea. I love you.
I love you too, honey.
Aww.
And so, our heroes made sweet, sweet love over the pile of dead bodies outside their house.
What will our heroes be up to next? When will I stop panning out from Earth?
This is kind of like that intro scene to It's a Wonderful Life where the angel's looking at Earth. Am I God? I don't really know. Oh, here comes the credits. I hope you enjoy the music.